What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a big banger update. This is going to be BBIG for tonight. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so we can get this information out to as many people who want to learn about the trade. With that said, let's go ahead and begin. Okay, we are looking at our right-angled broadening ascending wedge. So this wedge has been what we've been riding for, let's see, since September 27th. Man, it is a long-standing structure. We have been battling the good fight here, but there are a couple of things I want you guys to be able to know. I do still believe that we are in a prep for the upside, but we need to face a couple things first before we do make that enormous move. This should be an interesting video, you guys. Please follow me along, watch to the end so you can be able to catch every single detail. We'll try to make this video short so it's not so long and getting in the way of our rest for tomorrow's session. Okay, a couple key things to know here. We are below every relevant major moving average here. We are also below the 0.236 fib ratio. These things are likely to play as resistance in order for us to find some temporary downside, of a temporary pullback. And the reason why I say that is because raw price action is suggesting that. And now we have a relevant support here, which is our descending channel here, which has now converted into, the resistance has converted into support, and our wedge support landing right out here, not to mention our zero fib at about 89 cents. So we could potentially be seeing a bounce from this area to the upside. Now, while doing so, we are cooking some indicators while doing this. Actually, the last day or two, since we said we were going to go to the upside, we have broken market structure. When I told you, BBIG was going to start to make some moves starting tomorrow on my tweet, and then started going to the downside rather than the upside, please do remember that the statistical measures did indicate a potential 15.16 day long or 15-day long move. So this could likely be that move that we're waiting for. We're waiting for that accumulation, that the cooking of the indicators, particularly the BBWP volatility and our stochastics momentum, before us just impulsively moving to the upside. So that's it with this chart. Let's go ahead and move on to the next chart right here. So we are within this ascending channel. Just so you guys can, we've seen this before, but I want you guys to just know and not panic when we're selling off, because we are within a range of trading here. We were talking about a couple things here. This is the 50-day simple moving average, and this is the SMA 10, the 10-day simple moving average. They are both acting as resistance, and also our 0.236 Fibonacci ratio is also acting as resistance as well. This indicates that we're likely to test this support bottom of the channel, which is around 91 cents, 92 cents. Our zero fib is also right nearby, so there is a potential that we can wick down here and continue on to the upside. As you can see, this candle right here actually moved beyond but recovered the channel once again and continued trading within it. Those things are of absolute possibilities. Excuse me, you guys. Okay, so I have not moved the implied target, or the implied path, sorry, for the SMA 100 from a few days ago. And this is where I started the drawing for the SMA 100 was actually here, and you can see that it's following our implied path correctly. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because this is going to potentially end up right at our channel resistance and the 1.618 golden ratio. As we know, and as I've mentioned before to you guys, the 1.618 is actually psychological target that the trade or the market sentiment usually likes to reach. The 1 spot 618, the inverse not 618, the 2 spot 618, and the 3 and the 4 618. All the golden ratios are usually areas where we like to take the trade to when you apply a psychological factor into the trade. Okay, so let's take a look at the notes and see if we are moving in a good direction. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and take a look at now the statistical side of things, but I will explain to you the details within this type of move. Now we're looking at volatility here, represented by this indicator BBWP. It is modified by me. It is ARC BBWP because I for the daily and up charts, I like to keep a critical zone of about 15%, and I like to draw my bear strength and bear weakness along with my bull weakness and bull strength percentile, just so we can be able to gauge where we're going. This being the top of the range, the 100%, and this being the 0%. And as you can see, our spectrum line, the signal line, and the moving average are now at just beyond critical lows right here. So do keep in mind that the BBWP is direction neutral, and we are likely to see an explosive move. So the longer this stays down here, the longer it just continues to accumulate this volatility, the likelihood of a strong move to either direction is in the cards. So because it is, like I said, direction neutral. The way that we can gauge a bias in direction is by pairing this with momentum. Now, this is, in this case, volatility versus momentum. And man, our momentum oscillator is not looking bad at all. In fact, we have now made a bullish cross, and this is, and the cross is actually now within bear weakness. So the bears appear to be losing strength even though price action is going down. Please do not confuse the price action that's happening right now with it being particular to BBIG. BBIG has plenty of positive catalysts in line right now and are just waiting for I believe it's actually the final word for merger. And also some news came out about TikTok targeting particular American citizens, and this is only pushing Loma or Lomotive just higher into the chain. So you guys please know that what I'm seeing here is potentially catalyst driven. We are experiencing some downside for a massive accumulation, which could lead to some upside. Now, within the statistical measures, we have touched on this before, but I would like to just repeat it to you guys one more time. Out of 25 total iterations, we have 16 correct. Now, the iterations that I speak of are particular to the BBWP reaching below critical levels, and critical levels being the 15th percentile and below. So I have taken note of every iteration where that has happened since the birth of the public trading of the BBIG asset. So with that said, we have, out of the 25 iterations, 16 were correct. The average upside accuracy from this result is actually a 64% chance that we do get an upside. Now the averaged upside thrust is 62.14% over the span of about 15 days, almost 16 days. This is proof of work right here. And one more small detail to notice within this chart. This is the daily chart we're looking at, and we are within a symmetrical triangle. Now, triangles in general have a higher hit rate than other formations like the bearish bat or weird things like that. So the symmetrical triangle does not fall within the probable 70% hit rate of an ascending or descending triangle. However, the symmetrical triangle also has a higher hit rate. Now, and it also has a price objective for us to be able to look at. This trend line is taken from the hypotenuse of the triangle to the lowest point of where price action indicates the triangle to start from. So we take this trend line here and we apply it to the point of breakout. Now, we haven't gotten any point of breakout. In fact, we are at the bottom of this triangle right here. Doesn't mean we can't actually wick down and recover it and continue trading, but just per se, if we were to break out on the 25th of October, right? Let's give ourselves some grace room so that this can be able to make its way back up. Let's put this right over here, right at the breakout point, and measure where that could potentially put us. So we're looking at $1.24 based on just this small triangle. Now, what is $1.24? Other than the fact that it also is the range high, which is this, if you can take a look at these metrics here, these red numbers, they'll turn green because the green is candle, or turn red when the candle is red or green, whatever. But let's go over this candle and see the high of 125. So the high of this trend line is about 124.40, smack dab right in the middle of 124 and 125. Let's revert back to our, you know what, let's see. Yeah, this one here. We can actually see that the 124 target lands right, where do you think? Oh man, it lands right at our golden ratio, 2.618. Like I said, we like to trade to the 1.618, the inverse, not 618, and beyond. And as you can see right here, our SMA 200 is landing really close to our 4.618. So you guys, this is still looking very good for BBIG. Please do not be discouraged only because we're seeing some negative price action. There is negative price action for a reason. It's because we're trading within a range. You know, right now it's just trading, you guys. So no matter, and remember, you guys, the point of BBIG is not to scalp it, is not to momentum trade it. It's not for us to be able to do what the regular professional day trader does. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to teach you how to be able to trade the ranges with from home. And I'm talking about BBIG being home. I don't want you guys to start having to analyze other assets when you're studying BBIG in particular. So you have the fundamentals down. You know what's going on with the new leadership. You know the mergers. You know the acquisition. You know the whole thing. Now, why not study a bit of its price action and see how the psychology of the trade happens within it? Not that it matters. It's just that, just say, for example, we're trading the ranges one day and then BBIG, we get that positive catalyst and it just rockets to the moon. That you're now holding a new position that you were intending for a day trade or a swing trade along with your moon bag. So I'm also holding a moon bag too, you guys. I think that I'm at around I would say 14 to 1,500 shares of BBIG. So I'm not trading those. I'm trading just a smaller account so that I can be able to show you guys how to trade from home. Just looking at the criteria of our home stock. So yeah, going back to our statistical analysis. 124 lands right at our 2.618, right over here. So this is very likely. So if it does start to explode, we can see the trail up to the 2.618 and eventually finding some type of support right at wherever this channel can be at the time, and it could also be within the 1.618. Lots of rhyming here, you guys. We just got to be patient and read what the chart says. Or not, because no matter what we do, this thing is still going to moon no matter what, right? So this information here is just for the curious. Okay, let's talk about the bias and direction, starting with the immediate short term. This is the 30-minute RSI. We are within bear strength. Okay, every single time I start this, I have to remember that we do have newcomers to the server, Discord server, to the Twitter, to YouTube. So let's go ahead and just explain it real fast for those. This is my RSI, the ARC-RSI. I have it split into two sections, the bottom half being the bearish control zone, the top half being the bullish control zone. Now, both halves are split into two. We have bull weakness and bear weakness. Now, Below, we have bear strength, and inversely, we have our bull strength percentile. So just in case you guys get a little lost when I'm talking about those terms, now you know what I'm talking about. It's your traditional RSI, though. We have the 70% and above as overbought, and 30% and below as oversold. So 30-minute time frame. We are within bear strength percentile with an upside pivot. Please take in mind that we are trading below the moving average, and the moving average is actually suggesting some downside. So we could potentially bounce from the moving average, continuing to the downside here in the immediate short term. Let's look at the 15-minute and see what else that tells us. The 15-minute is direction neutrals. The only reason we would believe this would go down is by the sheer fact that we're within bear strength. Okay, let's move up to higher time frames. This is the bi-hourly. This is showing us a very weak upside pivot, but within a very, very shallow area here. So this is getting too close to the bear strength percentile, and now we are trading below the moving average, and the moving average is suggesting a slight downside here. So this is actually feeding to our temporary pullback thesis that we've been talking about throughout this video. Let's move up to the 6 hour. This is the 6 hour RSI and is also direction neutral. We're trading below the moving average, which makes it a little bit bearish, and also the fact that we're in the bearish control zone, but it is bear weakness, and the moving average is at the shallow areas of the of the bear weakness percentile, which could indicate some upside moves potentially by the end of the following session for tomorrow, or the start of Monday session. Now, I want to talk to you guys about what is actually confirming some downside for me personally. And now this downside, please remember, you guys, that this is the point that where a lot of people are now starting to hear all this positive catalyst thing. So this is actually what we do want. We do want price action to actually reach a little bit of a smaller low, so that we can touch on that supply, on that demand zone. So we're gonna really touch that demand zone and accumulate all the shares that everybody wants to do. For example, like that guy that just added me today, I think, or yesterday. He said at ARCa Bulls, I just got 50,000 shares for the movement. So things like that is because we're approaching a demand zone that's too good for us to be able to refuse. This is in particular the 12-hour RSI, and it is giving us a hidden bearish divergence, and it's also a phantom drive of bearish divergence. What makes it a phantom drive is that we're going through this zone right here. So when we go through an area like this, it makes it a phantom drive, and this is particular to the bearish side. So this is, and it's likely already playing out. So, and where is it playing out? It is playing out in the bearish control zone, and now it's getting dangerously close to our bear strength percentile here. So this is likely to pull pull into here and trade either down or sideways for the next session or two. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. The 12-hour is what's indicating this short-term pullback. Please do not get it confused with a reversal. This is a short-term pullback. What I do consider the possibility of a true reversal is actually our statistical measures, and it's this. We are loading up like crazy here. Actually, I don't see. I usually don't see volatility reaching contractive levels down to flat zero like this often. So this is something is brewing. Like I said, I don't know when it's gonna pop off, but our daily chart is still suggesting upside and making bullish statements for the BBIG asset. Anyway, you guys, that's gonna do it for the video tonight. Please make sure to get some rest for tomorrow's session, being the last day of the week. Let's make it a good one. And please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Twitter, at the Discord server. I'm going to leave all the links at the bottom so that you guys can be able to join. If you want to trade like ARCa, please grab yourself a TradingView platform. I think they have like a month free or something for you to see how this platform works out. And And yeah, you guys, if like, let's see. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. Anyway, thank you so much, and I'll catch you at the bell. Adios.